and welcome to Life Less Ordinary. It is that time of year. It is mid to late March and it is time to plant garlic. Well, this is when I would normally plant garlic. I would normally plant garlic around St. Patrick's Day, so 17th of March. Today is the 19th of March. So I'm a little bit late, but I have prepped some already. So I've received quite a number of Australian purple hardneck garlics from Wayhill Farm, and they look absolutely fantastic. So what I have done is I have actually put some in the fridge yesterday in preparation for planting out today. So what I've done is I've actually put them into a bowl with a bit of diluted sea salt in the fridge, ready to go to plant some of these out. Now, I'm saying that this is when I would normally do this, but I'm also trialing the idea of planting some later in the season. So after we've had a cold snap. So we're in zone 9B in the Southern Highlands of New South Wales. So our first frost is generally first or second week in May. So I'm playing it a little bit safe, and I'm deciding to put some more of the garlic out in the first week in June. But I'm not just leaving them in a box or leaving them somewhere sort of at room temperature. What I've done is I've put a whole heap of garlic heads into brown paper bags. I've labelled them and I have put them into one of our other fridges in the bottom of the fridge. So I actually did that a week and a half ago. So they're essentially going to have around 3 months of being in a really cold environment before I decide to plant them out. Now, the intention is to plant them in a very similar spot. So I'm going to do a row of these garlic that I've got in this bowl, in where I had originally put the potatoes, so where they've been for the past couple of years. Put in some compost to sort of give a bit more nutrients to the area for the garlic in preparation for that. I will then, so I'm going to do that now. I'm going to come down and plant those ones. But in another, let's see, what are we, March, April, May, sort of 2.5 months time now, I am going to plant another row, sort of a little bit back from there in that same area. Similar idea, prepare the soil with some good compost, and plant all of that garlic, which has been kept in the fridge for, it'll be 3 months by the time I'm planning to plant them out in June. So all that is to say that I'm doing a trial on which way actually works. I usually, every year for the past, I don't know how many years, plant at this time in March, and the garlic that I get is generally pretty good. Like, I haven't had too many issues. This is what I have got left. So they're pretty good. You know, as a gardener, you're always researching and reading and watching to see how other people do things. And I did see something a couple of weeks ago talking about getting bigger garlic heads by planting when the ground is cold. So at the moment, we're still around 15 to 19 degrees Celsius is the ambient temperature. So we haven't cooled down yet. So I'm planning this way of doing it to see whether we have a difference in what the outcome is come November or December when we harvest this garlic, to see what the difference will be. And then that can help me to make decisions in future years about which method of planting garlic I am going to do. So that means I will do another video when I plant in June, and also when I harvest, so that we can see side by side what the difference is. So anyway, that's my way of saying let's go plant some garlic. So I have made my way down to the old potato patch, which has been cleared, raked over a little bit. I've gone through, it's been a week and a half since we cleared out the potatoes, so I've gone over it again to see if anything's growing through. Gotten out any grass runners, and we did have a few things in here. And what I've done is, hopefully you can see, I've made a bit of a furrow in a line along there, and I've got some compost that I'm going to fill in this trench to some degree. I would call it a trench. It isn't very deep, but a furrow or a trench. And I'm going to put this compost in there and then plant out each clove of garlic to about 3 to 5 centimetres. We do get quite cold here, so the deeper I plant it, the less likely it will be to grow, and in compacted soil, although this isn't too bad because it's got wood chips. So I guess in a normal garden, the deeper you go, the more compact the soil is likely to be, so the clove is less likely to do the growth that it needs to. So 3 centimetres is all I'm going to do here for each clove. So I'll get on with that and show you the finished product. Well, the work is done. The garlic is in. So it is the 19th of March. This row of garlic is in, and I've put some sugarcane mulch on. I'm just giving it a good soaking now with the watering system. So we'll see how that starts growing. And back in June, so in June, in 2.5 months' time, the intention is to do another row. Actually, I've probably got enough for another 3 rows. That's how much I've put in the fridge. 3 rows of garlic. So in this same area, I'll use the same compost and plant these 3 rows. And then we'll see the difference. So there'll be some similarities in the compost position, amount of watering, but the difference will be whether planting earlier, planting later, having the longer cold in the fridge. We'll get to see by November what the difference is in the size of the bulbs. So I am going to enjoy this late afternoon sun and the birds until I get called up for dinner. Tobias is cooking on the barbecue up there. I'll go and put these in my little hidey hole just behind me here so that I don't lose them. But hopefully this has been interesting and some food for thought. Get some garlic in, whether it's now or in June, if you're in the Southern Hemisphere, of course. Happy garlic growing. Thanks for joining us in our Life Less Ordinary.